Infinix 040 5G. All I have to say is this phone has been a pleasant surprise. Let's get into it. Let's do a quick breakdown of the specifications and what we're working with when it comes to the Infinix 040 5G. Yeah, it's powered by the Dimensity 8200 Ultimate, and it's actually using up to 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5X RAM, and it does have a RAM fusion or expansion or boost mode with an additional 12 gig that it actually uses from the internal storage to expand, giving you up to a total of 24 gigabytes, which is crazy. But again, actual RAM is 12 gigabytes. It is using LPDDR5X, which is great to see. And the model I've got, it's got 512 gigabytes of UFS 3.1 storage, which is very respectable. When it comes to the battery, you are working with a 5,000 milliamp hour battery, and it does support 45 watt charger. And that 45 watt charger and charging does come included in the box, which is really good to see. And you get wireless charging as well, up to 20 watts of wireless charging. That is something I was very surprised to see. So seeing wireless charging on a device like this, it's really clutch. So when it comes to the battery life, as well as the charging experience, the flexibility of what you have, it's a really good look what you have available on here with the Infinix 040 5G. Now, display-wise, you are working with a 6.7-inch display. It is a 1080p panel. It is a flexible AMOLED LTPS display with a peak brightness of about 1,300 nits. I believe that's going to be in HDR. I measured close to more 650 in terms of sustained brightness across the board, but that should be the HDR peak brightness viewing as well as outdoors as well. And it does have a crazy refresh rate of up to 144 hertz. Now, most phones have 120 hertz. To have 144 hertz on this is crazy insane. And also when it comes to things like PWM frequency, which is really good with the pulse width modulation, and that's meant to be eye care protection, you are looking at a frequency of 2,304 hertz. So the PWM dimming frequency is really good when it comes to this OLED display. I'm very impressed with what we're seeing here. It is a curved panel, so just something to consider when it comes to not being flat, but the unboxing experience is one thing that's really good. You pretty much get everything in a box, and I'm talking about everything. You even get a pair of included USB earbuds in there, as well as not just the USB cable, the charger included, and also you get a case as well as a curved screen protector. So you're pretty much good to go out the gate with what they've done. I really like this, and I just wish more companies did that. But again, things have just been really skimmed down when it comes to unboxing. So it's refreshing to see that Infinix are doing a full unboxing experience with the 040 5G. Now, for everything else this phone supports, considering this is pretty much classed as a sub $450 flagship phone, yeah, the camera system is really impressive. When we're looking at the hardware, the main camera is a 180 megapixel ISO sensor, and I believe it's a 1/1.67 inch sensor. So it's huge. It's a large sensor size considering what we're getting with that resolution. Then there's a 50 megapixel ultra wide, which is great to see, plus a 2 megapixel depth sensor. And the selfie is also high resolution at 50 megapixels. There's a flash, and the things that this camera is able to do, I was not expecting it. Like being able to shoot in 4K 60 FPS, not just in the main sensor, the ultra wide, and also the front facing camera. Some flagships don't even have 4K recording on a selfie, and if they do, it's limited to 4K 30. So seeing 4K 60 here on a selfie at this price point, yeah, that kind of shocked me. Again, how real the 4K is one thing, but I believe it's something that you are not really going to be finding that much on any phone at this price point, especially. And this really pushes where the vlogging capabilities of the 040 5G, yeah, it's something to sing about. And we're going to go through that in terms of what it does. Now, quick breakdown of the specs out of the way. Let's pretty much look at the overall. Start from the outside and work our way in. The color, the design, the build quality, I think it's really good. Yes, I do personally prefer a flat display, but I get it for this price point and the kind of style that they're going for. So not really a bad thing. This is the rock black color, and I really love the matte finish and the two-tone look. It's kind of going for like a trend design, trend colorway. Yeah, overall the design is really good. I like the circular look of the camera. It means that when you lie it down, it doesn't rock all over the place, which makes it much more usable. And yeah, the overall design and the build quality, it feels really well put together. Only thing I really prefer is a bigger power button on the right and the volume rocker or volume buttons as separate buttons on the left. You know, that's just my personal preference, but there isn't necessarily anything wrong with what they've done. But overall, design and build quality, really well put together on this one, considering the price. Next is the display experience. Again, I do prefer a flat display. I feel like curved displays are a thing of the past, but they do have a certain swag and appeal to it that is still very nice to look at. I really do appreciate the full unboxing experience where you do get a case of it and a screen protector if you want to use it. So that's a good look from Infinix. The display itself, when I measured it, standard brightness on a clear white background, just using it as normal, it was around about 630 nits. So that's a sustained, which is actually really reasonable at this price point. But obviously peak brightness is something that you can see an increase when you are using this outdoors or in HDR content. Yeah, the overall display has been so responsive. And I think, honestly, it's really high praise to that 144 hertz refresh rate. This is something that I just turned on straight away. You don't see this on most phones. And of course, what you can do is go into the auto switching and let it do it. But man, you got 144 hertz, use it all the way. Overall, when it comes to the display viewing experience, it's been really good when it comes to things like gaming, watching your favorite videos. It's a really good experience. So yeah, at this price point, you can't go wrong. Now, when it comes to performance, yes, it is powered by the Dimensity 8200 Ultimate from MediaTek, 12 gigabytes of RAM, LPDDR5X, and of course UFS 3.1 storage. So overall, it's really well-rounded, especially considering the price point where we are. Now, when you go into the benchmarks like Geekbench, there's two ways this actually performs without the high performance mode activated, which you actually do in the battery settings, or with the performance mode. And again, this isn't numbers to really scream about, but I'm telling you, real world usage of actually how you do and use this phone is really good. Now, we run it through our speed test kind of benchmark that we've created over the 15 apps that we've got. And while it blitzed through it, there was no issue with apps reloading, no RAM management issues. It was really smooth and powerful. And I think a total time around 2 minutes and 52 seconds. That is very, very good and actually challenges some flagships. And of course, I will have time placed up there when it comes to the video exporting time in LumaFusion, but it did it really well in reasonable time. So I'm telling you, day to day when you're actually using it, the performance is really comparable. When I was actually playing games like Asphalt 9, which if you've not played Asphalt 9 or Asphalt Unite, as they call it, Legends, man, the amount of alpha effects and stuff that's happening on there is crazy. And this had the high graphical setting option available and it was running at 60 FPS. So honestly, benchmarks are one thing, real world usage, I was way more impressed than I thought, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Now let's look at the camera, and I have to tell you, this camera actually surprised me what it's actually able to do at this price point, especially when it comes to video. As stated, it does 4K 60 on all the main camera sensors. The main 108 megapixel, the ultra wide 50 megapixel, and the front facing camera 50 megapixel, they all do 4K 60. Now, of course, with 4K 60, you can't simultaneously switch between the lenses you're recording, but you can do that in 4K 30. So for 4K 60, you have to stop recording and switch lenses. But the fact that it can do it on the ultra wide and the front facing camera, the vlogging capabilities are crazy good. In fact, there's even a vlog mode. And look at the different modes that you've got when it comes to leisure, portrait, travel. It's insane the level of depth that you've actually got in here. And when it comes to video stabilization, there's different modes when it comes to the Ultra Steady Pro, the Ultra Steady, and the one without the stabilization. They have different crop factors and obviously the different limitations of the shooter modes that you can shoot in. That works up to 4K 30. But I'm saying the fact that they've got this level of flexibility, it's very impressive at this price point. Super macro mode is available as well. You've got long exposure. I love dual video. So if you're ever having to be in a situation where you want to capture a scene and your reaction at the same time with the front facing camera and the rear facing camera combined, it's great to see. You've got portrait mode. You've also got video portrait mode as well. Yes, limited to 1080p, but being able to actually have video portrait mode at this price point, it's really good to see. And I love what I'm seeing here with what they're doing in this particular arena when it comes to this capability, because it's something you can also do on the front facing camera when it comes to video portrait mode. Overall, the camera, in terms of performance, it's way more up there than I was expecting it to be. And that's something where it impressed me. And of course, you've got 108 megapixel mode. You've got the AI color enhancement that you can enable for your pictures as well. It does do a traditional pixel binning. And it's just amazing how flexible this camera system is. So take that for what it is. This does a lot more when it comes to the camera than even I expected. And considering it does 4K 60 on all the lenses, yeah, it's got something to talk about when it comes to the vlogging capabilities and also the pictures and the videos, especially on the 040. Now, software-wise, this is running Android 14. And this does have the XOS operating system, which is obviously Infinix's skin that they've got on there. And it's good. I mean, it's been so smooth. And that's one thing that I noticed with it. It's been very, very smooth. And I think it's just a really dialed in and well optimized. Again, another pleasant surprise where I walked into this and I didn't know if I was actually going to get on along with the operating system. And it seems very straightforward. So again, I'm not really too keen on software so much. If it works, it works. And if it doesn't get in the way, it doesn't get in the way. And it doesn't. I have no real issues with it. The only thing to probably consider is that you might not be getting a crazy 7 years of software updates. But still, at this price point, what you're getting is actually very compelling, straightforward, smooth, no issues. Last but not the least is battery life and the complete charging experience. And like I said, 5,000 milliamp hour battery and does support 45 watt wired charging and 20 watt wireless charging. There it is. You get the 45 watt charger in the box and already that's a win. And when I did a charging test, approximately I did get about 50% charge or so in about 30 minutes, which is really good. And 100% charge was around an hour and 15 minutes, so more than respectable. And the fact that it does support wireless charging, this is actually something I was not expecting at this price point, especially at 20 watts. It's a good look. And yeah, the charging experience is great. The battery life overall holds up really well. The MediaTek Dimensity processors, especially on a 4nm process, they've just really been very rock solid. And they've dialed it in. You can enable power saving and ultra power saving mode if you really want to stretch it. But overall, I've had a great experience when it comes to the battery life. So that with the charging experience, this is a big dub for the Infinix 045G. Now, my overall thoughts on the 045G. Man, for something that is meant to be priced somewhere between $300 to $450, depending on region conversion and where it's available, this phone is competitively good, especially this 5G model. Being able to get 5G, have 4K 60 recording capabilities on all the cameras, the vlogging capability modes that you've got, and just the different stabilizations and things like being able to link your GoPro with it, like just being able to capture your own moments. It's like, I've really been surprised with just this package. So how they've been able to target such a compelling package at this price point and the regions it's available in, yeah, honestly, the Infinix 045G has been, like I said, a pleasant surprise. What's your thoughts on the Infinix 045G? Let me know in the comment section below. That's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do. Hit the like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad. You don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.